Hey everybody, this is Ashley again with another craft from Tyrrell County Public Library. Today we'll be making Vellum Luminaries, which are actually pretty fun. I had never heard about these before until I looked them up on the internet. So this is the vellum paper, which is really close to tracing paper. As you can tell, you can see the image underneath. And then we will need some cardstock. So we're going to put the vellum paper to the side because our first step is getting our base put together. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out a 3x3 square from the red cardstock. Then after you're done with this, you will go and you will go a 1/2 inch in on all 4 sides, and I'll make it closer so you can see what I've done here. And after that is done, you will want to take your handy dandy ruler, and right where those lines were, I like to line up my ruler to where the lines, and then you're just going to fold all the way around. Now, once that's done, get you some handy dandy scissors, and everywhere you see the little square on one side, see if y'all can see this. So we're going to make a slit. So then we're just going to turn, make a slit on the next one. We're going to do that for all 4 sides. Oh, I kind of did that one kind of crooked. So we'll just rotate like normal. Oh, I missed one. So we'll have to do it from this side. And that's when you should get it to where each side has its own little flap connected to a part right here, because you're going to end up making a box out of this. So we have double-sided tape, which we're going to use for this project. So what I've done is I have cut a tiny square out of my double-sided tape. And what I like to do is I stick it to the opposite side. You see right there. So let's do that real quick on all of them. Alright, so now what you want to do is you want to fold this in and bring this flap up, and there's a corner. You just want to continue to do that all the way around, because this will be the base for our vellum paper, our luminaire. And no, my measurements aren't exact every single time, unfortunately. Just can't seem to get it down packed. But if you see there's like a little bit of a edge, I'm just going to trim off that little bit, just so it's pretty much flush. Alright. After you make your square, you're going to take your vellum paper and you're going to cut your vellum paper 4 by 8.5. So your paper should already be 8.5. Might if I use the right side. So the paper is already 8.5. So what you would do is just come down 4 inches. I swore I had a pencil over here. Oh, there it is. Just come down 4 inches. And then go all the way across. So you can get 2 luminaries out of 1 piece of vellum if you cut it correctly. If you try to cut it this way, you're only getting 1 piece. I messed up. That's how I know. So we're going to measure that out. You're going to come back with a 4 by 8.5 sheet of vellum. So you can either... Okay, let me not get ahead of myself. Sorry. So what we're going to do now is that we have them 4 by 8.5. You're going to want to make a mark every 2 inches. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and 4. And then of course go down, make your lines like you need to. Alright, now that you have your sections, which will make your square, I found it easier to have a metal ruler. You take your ruler, line up your pencil line with the ruler, and then just crease it over to where it gives you that crease. And then you can go from there and then just now you want to try to be as precise with these folds as you can. So this is what your paper, your vellum paper, will look like after you folded it. Oh, see, it already makes a nice perfect square for it. And this is what your paper will come out with the creases. So you can either crease your paper, pre-crease before you even draw on it, or you can line it like I did with this. I just drew the lines on there because the pencil is very easy to erase, and it smears easier than the colored pencil. So what I did here is I took my sheet and I stuck it over top of what I wanted as an image on my vellum luminary. So go ahead and get you some removable tape, which I've already done 3 of these, which I'm going to do this one really quick on the screen for you guys. So look, well, actually I'll start off with the I do not recommend first, and then the I recommend. So you can use stamps on these, as you can see right here. we have a stamp that I've used. Now, there's one thing about these. It is wet. So, if you can look, you can see where I have smudged this one. Because I didn't think about how long it would take for the ink to dry on this paper. So, that's one of your options. So, if you have any stamps at home, feel free to stamp it. And I will show you guys a picture of all these at the end when they're illuminated. So, there's the stamped one. Now, I tried another one with colored pencils. With actual color, and not just doing an outline. It turned out okay. I wouldn't recommend doing such a small image like I did, because the details got a bit muddled on the characters themselves. Let's see, where's Mario? Mario kind of looks, yeah. But just everyday colored pencils. Then I did just a colored pencil outline to see how that would show up in with the little tea light candles that we stick inside. And I actually liked doing just the outline. And this was done with just a colored pencil. Now, my favorite, Sharpies. This stuff, it turns out beautiful. I like it because you can see what the image is supposed to be during the daylight when you're not, you don't have a candle in it, which I kind of should have put something else on that side, but we'll have a closer look for you. I think the marker just makes it look a little more professional than anything else, and it's vibrant and bright, and yeah, I love the Sharpies on these things. So what I have done is I have started to draw out or trace out an idea of what I want. I'm going to do one of them for you. So all I did was take some removable tape, and so we're going to be coloring in this side so that we can finish the luminaire. As you can tell, I've already started these three. So we're just going to do this one. I like to try different shades of color, and kind of make it pop a little bit, which I need to go back in on this one, I think, and add a little bit of a dark blue around the edge. But let's go ahead and try to get this colored in as quick as possible for you guys. So we're going to fill in the "so long and thanks for all the fish." And if you know that line, then you know exactly what I'm doing. Alright. Now it does take a minute for stuff to dry on this paper. Alright. About done with my funky dolphin. Which in hindsight, I probably should have used blue on instead of purple. But I just remove it. Take the tape off. Alright, and with this one, I have not folded it yet. So we can show you how to do that. So since my ink is drying, I'm going to do it from this direction. Which I am doing, just using that as an edge piece. And then there's our first fold. So this part is actually where you're going to put some tape to seal this as a square. Let's get the next part. And if this part isn't close to perfect, it's fine. You might annoy yourself a little bit because of it. Like, as you can tell on this edge, it makes a perfect, like, it fits it. But then you come over here, see where it's rounded, because for some reason I didn't fold it the exact way it needed to. I mean, granted, it still works. It still does what it's supposed to. It's just a little bit misproportioned on certain areas. So measuring is a must on here. So it could be a nice little math lesson for the kids. Let's do this real quick. Let's see how we did. Okay. Now we have all of our folds done. And we have our little base. We're going to take our double-sided tape again. So the tape is too thick to fit on here properly. So what you're going to want to do is take your strip of tape, cut it in half, which I use the side of a table to help hold it. Then take that half and try to cut it long ways, as so. So it gives you this little strip. So we're going to put these little strips to the side, and we're going to repeat with this piece. And sometimes it goes all the way through, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so now you got your 4 pieces. We are going to stick them around the edge. Like so. See the glare? It doesn't look like I got long enough piece, so I just need to cut a tiny little piece. There we go. Fix that gap. Okay. Next, we're going to take another piece, and we're going to try to cut this one down the center like we did before. And if you need to cut it in half like I showed you, by all means. Okay, we're going to stick one piece over here to the table. So this little piece that I was telling you guys about, and it's fine if it overlaps the other tape. Okay, now that we have all this, let's put the base on. I like to start at one side. You should be able to just do exactly what I'm doing if you folded it correctly, which looks like I might be slightly off, as usual. Yeah, I'm slightly off. Come to the conclusion that's the story of my life. Dang it. So, if you're slightly off on your folds, you can either make you a new base, Or you can just make it work like I'm about to. Now it looks like I'm a whole millimeter off. And here's your luminary. Like I said, it might be a little off. For some reason, I cannot get the measurements perfect. I don't understand. But, so let's make sure we got them on the screen. And I will go turn the lights off so you guys can see what these look like lit up on camera instead of just a picture of them. Now, I think these things are cool. But you can tell how let's move this one so you guys can see what the stamps look like also. And I would suggest that when you pick a picture, remember that there's going to be that much of a base of a different color. So if you want to do something solid so you can't see the base underneath, like we have here, by all means, just have fun with it. I think they're pretty neat. Well, thank you for coming and watching our my craft time, and hopefully hopefully you guys will come grab some and have fun with them. And send me pictures whenever you get done making yours. Goodbye and have fun.